What's going on, guys? It's J-Ho bringing you a brand new video, and this past Wednesday was the first live stream for the reveal of the final live event in Destiny 1, which is Age of Triumph. I covered a lot of the information and details regarding the first live stream of Age of Triumph, so if you guys missed out on that, I'll leave a link in the description box below if you guys want to check out all that. But anyways, today I want to talk about one of the topics that they briefly mention in the reveal stream of Age of Triumph, and they have yet to talk more about it in detail, and that is the return of elemental primaries. So within the live stream, Bungie mentioned that they're going to talk about elemental primaries and how it's going to affect the sandbox. That's pretty much all they said about it, and they're going to talk about that in the final live stream, the third one, which is the changes in terms of the sandbox, and that is going to be the week before the content or the live event actually dropped. So that's the week before, and I believe that stream is going to be on the 22nd, and the content is coming out on the 28th of March. So that is going to be the last stream, and that's where they're going to address elemental primaries. So because we know that the raids are all coming back, the old raids were infamous for bringing us some of the best primary weapons because they all had elemental burns on them. So if you're a year 1 player, you definitely remember some of the great legendary elemental primaries that we had because of these raids. So we had Fatebringer, we had Vision of Confluence, we had Atheon's Epilogue, we had some from Crota's End like Word of Crota, we had Fang of Ur-Ute, I believe was the scout rifle. So we had some pretty good elemental primaries. Even Trials of Osiris, if you made it to the Lighthouse in year 1, brought some elemental primaries. But with the return of Vault of Glass and Crota's End specifically coming to 390 Light, everyone's wondering if we're going to see the return of some of these infamous primary weapons with elemental burns on them come back exactly the way they were back in year 1. And in my opinion, I think they're going to bring it back in a little bit of a different way. So back then, elemental primaries were very strong, especially the legendary ones. Right now, we only have Zalo Supercell in the game, and it isn't exotic, so you do have to give up your exotic slot if you want to use an elemental primary. But still, I think that they're going to bring it back. I don't think it's going to be full force. They're either going to bring it back with no burns, which I think is not a good thing because it's going to make the weapon less enjoyable in my opinion. Fatebringer is still a good weapon without the arc burn, but it's an amazing weapon because it also had the arc burn with it, along with the great perks Firefly and Outlaw. So one thing that a lot of people are mentioning within the community right now is that they could bring it back and make them exotic, so it's going to be similar to the Zalo Supercell. I think that's a pretty good idea. I think that's definitely a way they can kind of balance it a little bit, or they may just bring it back full force, because another reason why is that Destiny 1 is about to end, and there's nothing really that we're going to carry over in terms of weapons and armor. So why not give us these classic weapons the way they were and just let us use it for the next few months up until the sequel of Destiny is going to come out. So that's another way you can look at it, another point of view. But I think the exotic way is probably what they're going to go in terms of what they're going to do with it. Because if you take a look at one example, the Black Hammer, which was one of the greatest sniper rifles for PvE ever in Destiny. That was a legendary weapon, and because of it, you could use it alongside Gjallarhorn. You could use it alongside Fatebringer. So that was one of the best loadouts in terms of rating. Fatebringer, Black Hammer, and a Gjallarhorn. And each of those on its own is almost an exotic. I know Black Hammer specifically is definitely worth an exotic slot because that perk is just really good. Even after the Black Hammer got nerfed and it got changed to pretty much what the Black Spindle is right now, the Black Spindle is still a great weapon for PvE, and it is currently an exotic. So that's why I see them possibly changing some of those elemental primaries and pretty much just turning them into an exotic similar to what Zalo Supercell is right now. So let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys for watching as always. Stay tuned for more videos. We got the next live stream coming up this Wednesday, so stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!